Hello, beautiful souls. It's Julie. Welcome back to the Angels and Awakening podcast. Again, I'm your host and author, Julie Jancius. And friends, I'm really excited about today's episode. There is a lot that Spirit has been channeling through, and so much that I want to bring to you. Sometimes when you're in relationship with a person, you have to have like a conversation and be like, this is the way that my heart really feels like it's supposed to go, right? Or, it feels like it's coming through for my life. It's a different direction. And there is a very strong pull from Spirit that you're going to hear about today. That I feel Spirit has been coming in and the angels saying, every single person here on earth, no matter what time we're in, always has a piece to play, a part to play in bringing the world to a deeper place of love. And that really everybody has to contribute in their own way and in the way that they know how to bringing more and more love into this world. And so here's where I will start with this. About a year ago now, about August, September 2024, I started to have some of the most intensive pain. I went through the hysterectomy for the endometriosis. That Elle has been through so much this year. And when you have a child that's medically fragile, and, I've been through so much in the past. If you listen to the show, you know that she coded twice when she was just a really infant because she was so medically fragile, right? Something happens where mamas of kids who go through a lot medically kind of have this trigger that flares within them where when their kid starts to go through something else again medically, it totally triggers your nervous system. And here's how I see it energetically in a reading or a session. Sometimes people come in and they're really not going through a lot. They haven't been through a lot. They've maybe worked through a ton of past pain. And they're really in a place in life of expansion, of growth, of, I don't want to say it that way because you can still be kind of in pain and expanding and growing. But what I'm trying to say is their heart feels whole. It feels solid. It feels completely 111% healthy, the heart chakra. And sometimes you get into a person's energy and the heart chakra just feels wounded. It feels like it needs to go into the ER and be repaired. And you can also feel that difference in the person's nervous system with a person who, oh my gosh, is just like doing great, rocking it at life in like a smooth stride in life. Their nervous system feels really great. And sometimes there's things in life that happen that are completely out of your control, but that they just completely and totally wreck your nervous system. And so you just feel completely like you almost just got hit by lightning and you're a 1980s, 1990s cartoon character is what the angels are showing me right now. And, any little thing just continues to zap you with lightning from above, where you just are having a hard time getting your nervous system back on track. Well, that's what my nervous system has felt like pretty much all of 2025 has just been this completely wrecked nervous system. And going back to what I was saying, the angels say everybody must contribute in this life in their own way, in the way that they know how, to helping, to serving, to bringing more love into this world. I've really been struggling with and praying on this answer all year. God, what do you want me to do next? What do you want me to say, who am I supposed to be in this world right now to bring more and more and more love into existence, to you, into this world. And so I'm realizing that my phone is turned on and I don't want it to buzz, so I'm putting it on sleep. When you pray things like that, God has to show you your next steps kind of in an evolutionary way where maybe you don't see all of it, the big picture, wholly, completely at first, but it starts to trickle in. And I like to use the term, I was just doing the Angel Reiki School this weekend. I was telling the ladies, life is like carrying around an Easter basket. There are all these different Easter eggs and you don't have to go pick all of them up. But the ones that resonate with you, I constantly go through life and I just collect things that really, really resonate with me. And I put all of those inside this Easter basket. And there's been a couple of times in my life where I felt like maybe energetically you've been walking a certain path on a certain project, on a certain mission from the angels, and you complete it. You do your work, it's done, and then you're kind of exiting one doorway and entering through the threshold of a new doorway. And there's this middle piece where you're like, okay, yeah, but what's inside the new doorway? Like, what's in there? What am I supposed to do in there? Who am I supposed to be in there? What is there? And that's what I've been praying on. And again, I want you to know this just so that you feel normal in your life. I have not worked with one person on earth, no matter who they are, where that happens instantaneously. Okay, did my job in this last energy, stepping through the doorway into this new energy, and I know exactly what God wants from me. No, that's not how it works. You pray. And sometimes we pray for a year, and sometimes we pray for a year and a half, 2 years. And you collect these little nuggets of information, these little sparks from God along the way. And you get to a point where you have enough of those eggs collected in your Easter basket where you go, oh, okay, I see. This is starting to make sense. I could take all these pieces and kind of fit them together. And oh, God, angels, that's what you were trying to say. That's what you want from me. Side note, I think a lot of people, because they just want the entire big picture puzzle to be handed to them at the beginning, I think a lot of people get frustrated in their everyday life. This is how I operated in my late teens and early 20s, where I was like, no, God, just give me the whole picture at once. And I didn't realize that nobody got that. I just thought other people were getting the big picture and God was withholding it from me. But I am telling you, I am promising you, never get frustrated with the process of how God brings in answers to your prayers, because for everyone on this planet, they are all getting little nuggets of information. And if you are shooing those away and being like, ugh, no, I do not want that because I really want the big picture, then you're not working with the laws of how the universe operates, how we operate as souls, how God operates within us. And you're really pushing, I know you might not see it this way, but I am telling you, and I could do an entire episode on this, you're really pushing away God. You're really pushing away your soul when you reject the little itty bitty parts that come to you. So I say this because over the course of the last year, really since August, September of last year, been collecting all of this and trying to make sense out of it. And I finally have all of the puzzle pieces together on the kitchen counter, and it shows this much, much larger picture of where my soul is supposed to go in this life. And I don't want to give all of that away, but there's a very specific part of that picture that I want to talk about with you. And you know, love it or hate it. I had never seen this movie, but sometimes for lunch, because I am in my home alone all day, pretty much every day, I've found ways to engage with people more recently. And actually, I'm feeling called to do more sessions out of my home like we did pre-COVID. Everybody's been asking me for this. So yes, I am completely opening that up. And side note, when I used to do sessions out of my home, I have you on a massage table and I pretty much do like a half energy healing, half reading. And so those sessions were always about half the price of my normal ones, because with the ones that are on the website right now, like if you just want a reading where I am talking to you for 60 minutes, just like this, all of your angel messages, everything that they want you to know, a lot of times the plan of where you're going in the future, showing that all to you, because for some reason, it is easier to see the bigger picture for somebody else sometimes than it is in your own life. I don't know why. That is something that I might need to channel with the angels, but it's true. So I'm going to be doing these readings out of my home again and adjusting the price to be and reflect what it was before so that you get that value. And if you want to do that online, I can totally do that online. That energy completely resets your nervous system, which is wonderful. So I digressed. Let me go back. When I am home alone during the day, now I'm going to have you coming over to the house for readings. This is going to be so much fun. I pause and I like kind of turn on the TV for 10, 15 minutes and just kind of like go to Netflix or whatever's on and just watch a little something. Well, I turned on the TV and my husband has some football thing. We never have cable, right? But he has some football thing. And this movie just like popped up on the TV that I'd never seen before. It was Nicole Kidman. Love her. Love, love, love. Just her energy, her radiance, her grace. And she was actually playing Princess Grace of Monaco. And I was so sad when I saw the reviews of this movie. It only had like 10-star review or 10% like positive review. I thought it was the best movie ever. I just sat there and watched it and I couldn't turn it off. It was actually at the end of the movie. And I was like, wait, I have to see the beginning. I have to go back and watch this whole thing. Well, you just see her work in her own way where she gets to this point. She has this ball for the Red Cross at a point that's really imperative to Monaco when France is trying to take away Monaco's sovereignty. And she gets up and she speaks. Well, it turns out that the speech that they had her give in the movie, she didn't really give in real life, or they don't know what she said in real life. But the speech that she gave in the movie, oh my God, it just moved my heart so incredibly much. But that's what she was saying, is that everybody has their own way to share love with the world. And it is imperative for us to be allowed to be who we are and to just share love with the world in the way that calls to you. And I know that a lot of people could say, oh gosh, Julie, but that's toxic positivity, but that's avoidance, of confronting something directly. And so I've really spent time with the angels before bringing you this message. And the angels said, what we need to just really sit and marinate in this weekend is that the nervous system itself, like your energy, your vibrational frequency, your nervous system, it is sacred. And I don't use that lightly. Your nervous system is sacred. It allows you to show up constantly within the world in either a way in which you either add love or take away love, because everything in this world can be done in a way that adds more love, that builds more love into this world. And that's what I've been seeing. I actually am pulling up a picture on my phone right now, but I wrote down intention of the podcast on this big sheet of paper that just sticks to the wall. Intention of the podcast. What does the world need over the next 1 to 25 years? And I wrote down number 1, trust, safe place for their hearts, their nervous systems. I wrote down number 2, God is love. We are love. Spread and radiate love. Expand love. Number 3, joy, creativity, soul. Let me see here. I'm pulling it up. I can't read anymore. Oh my gosh, did this happen to you? I started looking at small print on paper one day, maybe in August, a couple months ago. And it just happened so fast. I was like, I can't read that. And so I had to take off my glasses, which I used to see far. I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening to me? But it just happened again where I was like, ooh, cannot read that with my glasses on. So number 3, joy. Oh, creativity, soul. That is what the world needs. Healing. Individuals need a place where they can heal their nervous system, heal both vibrationally and thought-wise. And angels, I think we all need to feel our angels more, to connect with our angels more, to know that they're with us, to hear them more clearly. And so this is the work that I want to do that brings me so much joy and it actually releases and relaxes and makes my nervous system so it feels so good to just say this to you right now. That is what I want you to create. I want you to create a safe place for you to heal your nervous system, where you come to this podcast every single week and know, I'm going to be able to listen to this and leave feeling good, leave feeling great, right? I want you to leave this podcast feeling like your love expanded, that you're radiating joy, you're radiating gratitude, that you're really, really connected with your soul, that you're healing mind, body, and soul, and that you're feeling your angels so much more. Because when I was tuning in with the angels, they said this specifically: the nervous system really cannot heal while stuck in fear or pressure or constant stress. It can survive in these conditions, which I think is interesting. But the angel said healing really requires safety, calm, trust, love, connection. And to be uplifted, you need a place that you can rely on, that you go, I know if I listen to Angels and Awakening, I am not going to feel down, that I am going to be built up through this podcast. That's what I want. That's what I want so incredibly much. And I hope the podcast has been that for you. But I want you to know that we're placing all of our intention and focus on continuing to be that for you in an even more and more and more powerful way. Thursdays, you know that I do angel stories, but I also want to do some more solos and then angel stories. I'm putting together a team that can help me to find the right angel stories. So if that is something that you want to help me with, I am the world's worst at setting up meetings and setting out reminders. If there's anybody who could help me with this, kind of subcommittee too, or committee, angel story committee, that could send out emails and get us together as a group so that we're all meeting regularly, then it would be so much fun. I think it'll be about 5 hours a month of work if you want to be on that angel story committee. But if so, I'd love, love, love to have you, because there are so many angel stories out there that we want to share with the world. So the other thing that I loved at the end, and Spirit like highlighted it, they circled it at the end of that movie, Grace of Monaco, with Nicole Kidman. They said they will be inspired by your endurance. Ooh, and I go, endurance is not a word that I had thought about for a really long time. But what is endurance? Endurance is the ability to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going from a place of love, keep thinking love, keep spreading love, keep speaking love, keep being love, keep radiating love, keep expanding. Sorry, allergies. Keep expanding more and more and more love into the world. It's endurance. And I think that that is our strong point here on the podcast is love is the ultimate endurance. I think love is so expansive, is so big, because love really is what God, universe, source is, that in the end, I truly don't worry about anything in life because I know that ultimately, where God, universe, source, I don't want to say is taking us because we have so much free will, but what remains after you look at everything that has to do of this life and of this world is love. Love is the ultimate endurance. You know, not to be completely corny here, I'm pulling up my computer so I can say this specifically and not mess it up, right? But I went to go see a friend downtown Chicago. I took my daughter with me last night, which is the most beautiful city in the world, let me tell you. And so peaceful down there. September 24th, 2025 is when I went down. And on the way back, John Lennon's song, Imagine, came on the radio. And I listened to the words and I heard them in a way that I just hadn't before. Because when you really look at what he says and you feel the energy behind it, what I realized is he strips away all earthbound energies until there is only God frequency, oneness, and love remaining. So go back and listen to the song today, right? But it says basically, like, what if there is no heaven and that you just had to live in the present moment? Which obviously we know that there's a heaven, right? But just imagine that you had to live in the present moment and that you couldn't think about the future. You couldn't think about the past, that you just had to in your life. It was a rule by God that you had to live in the present moment. There is just now. There is just you with the beautiful energy of love that your heart is irradiating right now. There is just you with the beautiful people that you love in your home right now and your friends and your community. And then he goes on to say something to the effect of, what if there was no country, nothing to support, nothing to really debate people on? What if there were no country? And I am such a America person because if you listen to this podcast, you know my ancestors helped found it and build it. But it's really interesting because you go, what if I'm just a soul on this planet and I'm not bound by any country? There's just oneness, right? It strips away everything where you get to this very, very deep rooted oneness, love, soul, God frequency. And then he goes on to say, and what if there was no religion? Okay, 99.9% of us, I don't know if that's correct. I'm just making that up. Don't most of us here on earth just believe in God? What if that was the only factor, right? What if there was no religion to debate and we're just having to be here and present with our oneness energy, with love? Imagine all people living in peace. Imagine, now he goes on to say one more thing, which I think is interesting because it really strips away all of the energy that we're carrying as egoic minded souls, human beings here on earth, not souls, human beings. What if you didn't have any possessions? What if you didn't own anything? That all we were here to do is to be in connection and relationship with one another. And I love, 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 love this because what it does is it strips away all of these heavy energies that our egoic mind relies on to kind of build this identity of who we think that we are. But if you look at this song energetically, what it really does, Imagine by John Lennon, is strip away every energy that your egoic mind is connected to. And what is left is only love, oneness, your radiant joy and love and connection between other souls and yourself. And that's beautiful. All right, friends, I love you so incredibly much. I just wanted to say that I love you. I hope you love this podcast. And I'm not trying to be toxic positivity. I'm not trying to avoid, but I have to go where the angels tell me to go. And this positive is going to lift you up. This podcast is going to be nothing but love. This podcast is going to bring you to a deeper place of love within yourself, heal your nervous system, because love breeds more love. I love you so much, friends. Oh, one more thing. If you want to help with that Angel Story Committee, let me know. If you want to also get involved, I would love to do a reading for you. You can find those readings on my website. You can come back in person to my home. Actually, I'm in the process of converting the dining room into a second office, just to have readings on the first floor of the house. So I'm so excited for that. You can book a reading over at theangelmedium.com with me. I also adjusted those prices for you. And all of that is really, really solid on the website, theangelmedium.com. And then two, if you want to work with me, we've got this entirely new course that's starting, October 1st, coming up here in a week, which is finding your purpose in 30 days. I'm working with each person online. There's coursework, but I'm also working with you, texting you, calling you to make sure that you find your purpose in 30 days. That bigger vision, that bigger puzzle piece vision of what does God want for your life? I want you by October 31st to be like, Julie, I've got it. I've got it because of this course. I know my vision of where God wants me to go. Because friends, what it's done for me is I feel so excited about where I get to go. I feel so excited about getting to work with you. And just where I get to take you, where the angels are trying to take you. And so when you have that vision and that purpose, oh my gosh, is it just wonderful? Because you wake up every morning and you're like, yes, get to do this work today. It's so fun. And if you're like, Julie, is that the way that you go through your house throughout the day, is singing like that? Yes, I do. And I sing to the doggies. And I'll dance around the house. So if you are into readings with me, the membership course about purpose, October 1st. If you need anything, Angel Reiki School, want to learn how to develop your gifts, reach out, Julie at theangelmedium.com. Julie at theangelmedium.com. Love you, friends. Have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day.